that we are that have been drawn are contain 8 squares. These lines are called ranks. There are 8 ranks, namely rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5, rank 6, rank 7, and rank 8. Similarly, there are also 8 files. Rank A, sorry, file A, file B, file C, file D, file E, file F, file G, file X. All these files are also 8 long, even if they have been drawn in shorter and failed now. And coordinates are made by first saying the file and then the rank. So, suppose I want to know the rank, the coordinate of this square. First, we have to go down and look at its file, which is D. So, D and its rank is 5. So, we have to say D5. Now, how will we read these coordinates? We have to do the exact same thing. Suppose we have been asked to find the square D5, sorry, E7. First, look at the E file. Where is the E file? The E file is over here. And 7, the seventh rank is over here, here, and here. This is the seventh rank. Where at the point where these two lines meet is the square. This square is E7. Now, there are 6 types of pieces. The weakest piece is the pawn. A pawn when on its starting rank, which is two two ranks from the bottom. I didn't look from your side. From my right now, this is right side. So 1 rank, 2 ranks. So these 2 ranks. So the second rank that you will see, E for white will be the starting rank of his pawns, and the starting rank for black pawns will be over here. And on the seventh rank, which is the second rank for black, as first comes eighth rank, then seventh rank. I'll show you. So for black, now this is the position. So for him, the eighth rank is the first, and the seventh rank is the second. Now we have to place the pawns here. So I'll just flip the board again and place the pieces. Here are pawn, white spawns, and here are black spawns. If a pawn is on its starting rank, it can move either 1 square or 2 squares. But after its first move, a pawn has to move 1 square only. After its first move. Even if the first move was only 1 square, like this is the position, and then you play this. So you only move your pawn 1 square. But still, after this, you can't move your pawn 2 squares. You have to move it 1 square, even if you moved only 1 square in the start. You can't keep the 2 square move for later. Same for black. He can move 2 squares or 1 square. But after the pawn moves 1 square, it can't go 2 squares anymore. It has to go only 1 square. Also, each if a pawn also captures in a different manner than how it moves. Here is a white pawn. Now, suppose it has, no, not the king. two more pawns in front of it, but diagonally front. It can capture any one of those. But if the pawns, but, but the pawn needs to be right in the front diagonal, like this. As you can see, the pawns cannot be over here, here, or here. In these places, is white pawn cannot capture the black pawns, any one of them, as a pawn may not move backwards. I'll just show you a diagram. So let's just remove these other pawns, and now let's see a diagram. So the available moves which are these. These three squares can be played. In this, the square right in front of him will be the where he can move. And the other squares that are not right in front of him but diagonally in front of him, those can be captured instead. And a pawn can neither move sideways, a pawn can't move sideward, side to the side. A pawn can't move to its side. Can't do diagonally backwards or straight backwards. Also, when a pawn reaches the top rank, hmm, as in of its opponent, like the first rank for his opponent, like suppose if for as in black pawns need to come to the first rank because they are on the seventh rank. I'll show you. So a pawn suppose moves two squares, then one square, then one square, then one square. But when it comes over here on the first rank, let me tell you, there's something. When this happens, the pawn, the black pawn can become a black queen, a black rook, a black bishop, or a black knight. It cannot stay as a pawn. Most times, it is better to make promote it to a queen. This is called promotion. But sometimes we need to do under promotion, like promoting to a rook, a bishop, or a knight. These can have certain advantages. Suppose this is the position, and here is a black pawn. So, what's the use of making a queen from this? Nothing. It'll just be an equal game. Suppose your king is here, okay? I'll keep a king, a black king. Yeah, so now, what is the sense of promoting to a queen? None. But there is a sense of promoting, doing an under promotion in this place by promoting to a knight. Because this creates a fork. And when it forks, the king is forced to move. He can't move the queen. And that way, he loses the queen. Now, we will learn the movement of a knight. I am showing you a knight. Just to move these pieces and bring in a knight. So a knight can move 8 squares when in the center and much less squares when in the sides. It moves in a weird shape, an L, like this. It can move like this. It can move like this. It can move like this. It can also move like this. It can move like this. It can also move like this. It can move easily like this, and then also move like this and this. This covers these eight square, the ones that I had shown you with the circles. When these eight squares are covered, it must be near the center, because if the light is over here, using an L shape, it can only move for six squares right now. And right now also six squares. But as it gets over here, it can only move five squares. As you can see right now, it can't come here. Okay, it can move six squares actually. No, it can't. It can just move really less squares. That's it. Only four squares. And when it's on the real side, like this, just these. One, two, three, and retreat. Yes, this is called retreat because this is the regular position and it doesn't make any sense. That is why it is called said that a light in the rim is dim, as the side ranks and side files are called rims. A knight weighs 3 points, and yes, a pawn weighs 1 point, just one. Now, let's take a bishop. This bishop also weighs the same amount of points, but there's something much better. There's a slight advantage at times and a slight disadvantage at times of having bishops. If you're in a close game, a game like this, I'll just put pawns everywhere, like this. You should be able to see that a bishop can't do much. See, it can move here. The bishop will have to move here, then here, then here, then here. It's stuck in a loop. It can't even capture its own pieces. And then here, and then here, and then here. And it's not even white. If it were white, maybe it would have an advantage. No, it isn't. So, what is more beneficial in this game? A knight. Because a knight can jump over pieces like this, as you can see. So that is why, if the game is closed, then it is beneficial for you to trade a bishop for a knight. As in, give away your bishop and get their knight like this. In this game is open right now, as you can see. Sorry. Yes. So as you can see, this game is open now because that a knight move slow is useless right now. But a bishop can move very fast and far. So it's useful too. It's not good. That's why you shouldn't do so. And also, in a closed game, you can do that. It is good. You should be able to take, you are allowed to take, it's good. Now, I'll also show you the movement of a bishop. A bishop moves in an X shape. X, as you can see. And let's draw it. Well, can I draw some red ones? One sec. Yeah. So, a bishop moves in these directions. Like this. One sec. And let's clear the board and show you simply what we have to do. So, just take this. A bishop can move here in these three squares, in these three squares, in these squares, and in the one sec. No, and also in these squares. Remove this stuff, okay? So it moved in an X shape, like this. as you can see, this is an X, and the bishop is over here. So the bishop can move in an X shape. It is also worth 3 points, but it can have a slight advantage. Now, this is a rook. It moves in a plus shape. I'll show you. Wherever you see a rook right now, that's where this rook in a circle can move. The real rook is over here, but it can move in all of these squares. And I'll show you one more way. Just take this and now draw some arrows. Here. So if the rook were here, it can move here, 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 and here. The rook, also known as the castle sometimes, but it's actually called a rook. It weighs 5 points and it is much more useful as it can move very well. Now, this, I'll just clear the board again. And this is the queen. A queen is really, really strong. It is equal to a bishop and a knight. So your rook. Like this. A bishop plus a rook equals queen. So if you get this puzzle, this means if you ask what is this equal to, it's a queen. Rook plus queen bishop. But then it should weigh 8 points, right? No. A queen weighs 9 points for some reason. Now, queen is really strong, and I said that because it has like almost every, like really too many squares under its control. First, just draw a rook. I'll draw a rook. Moves. Now, let's also add a bishop to it. And no, and and by the way, let me remind you, each piece except pawn can capture in the exact same way as it moves, and each piece except pawn can also move backwards. So this is the queen's movement on this position. It is really strong and really useful at times. But you also have to be careful. A queen can also create stalemates, which means a draw like this position. In this position, there's Lax king, and this is my king. We can't play here because it's a stalemate. Where will the king go? If the king comes, the king can come only these three squares, and if he comes here, om nom nom. And if he comes here, still om nom nom. We eat it. If he comes here, still check. But if he stays there, no check. And he has nothing else to move. Even if they were a pawn over here, he could move that, so it's not a stalemate. And then this, and then that would be check or whatever. But still, a queen is kind of dangerous, like a rook, and it weighs 9 points. It's the most important piece in the game. Before, why not? Kings. Yes. Now the movement of kings is very weird. First, they cannot get captured. Second, their movement is like this. A small one square circle around them, like this. This one square circle is the movement of a king. It's a 3 by 3 square, but with a hollow square in the middle where the king already is. Now, as you can see, 1. The king cannot be captured. So, what can we do with the king? The king can be put in check. And if the king is over here, suppose, and the queen is over here, it can be captured. Except there is a king here. This is chicken mate. Here, the king is in attack, But he can't run away anywhere because that's an illegal move. See, it can't go out of the board, can it? It can't come here, it can't come here because of the check. And if he comes here and captures one om nom nom, the other king gets checked, so it's not allowed either. So this is equal to checkmate, where you lose the game. The king wins the game. Yes, if your king gets checkmated, the game is already finished, and you lose the game. Now there are one, as you can see, I just set the startup position. So there is one king per board, one queen per. There's one king per side, one queen per side, two bishops per side, two knights per side, and two rooks per side. But there are also eight pawns per side. Yes, eight. Eight pawns per side. Total of 16 pieces, as this is 1 1, as in 2 rooks plus 2 knights equals 4 pieces, plus 2 bishops equals 6 pieces, plus 1 king plus 1 queen equals 8 pieces, plus 8 pieces equals 16 pieces. So one side is 16 pieces. The same exact position is mirrored for, of course, black. If you want to learn more, like more tactics, etc., for example, one of these tactics called castling, like this tactic called castling. If you want to learn that, like I'll show you. One sec. I'll just get it done. And here you go. Go.